Good morning and Teshidalek. I'm sure you all are taking a very good care of yourself, your parents, and especially your studies. Okay? So I welcome you to the fifth week. Yes, so we are entering the fifth week, and today, as usual, we have got the 4 sessions. And in this session, we are going to learn the most important part, that is the text structure. And then we will be discussing about the oral and listening skills. Okay? Yes. So without further delay, let us start. Okay? Yes. Okay, so first of all, I want you to look at the slides. Okay? So in my first session, what we are going to do, we are going to talk about the text structures. Okay? Now, if you remember, in the previous week, we have learned how to write a paragraph. We have also learned how to write an essay. And after knowing how to write essay and paragraph, we have also learned, okay, the different types of, the text. Okay? Yes. Now today, what we are going to do, now we are going to move on a little bit towards the reading part. Okay, yes. Reading is also a very important skill that you have to develop. Okay, yes. And when it comes to reading, we talk about the comprehension. If you are given a small piece of reading material, it's important for you not just read, but it's important for you to comprehend, to understand the text. Okay, so that you can do the exercises. You got it? Okay, yes. So that's why, so today's topic is the text structure. Okay, so in this text structure, what we are going to learn, what do you mean by text structure? What is a text structure? Okay, yes. So we are going to learn this, and next we are going to learn the importance of learning text structure. Why is it important for us to learn? Why is it important for us to know the text structures, the different text structures? Okay, so we are going to learn that. And the last one, we are going to go through some of the sample, okay, some of the sample text structures. Okay, yes. So that is the thing. Okay, yes. Now before we talk about text structure, just tell me, what do you understand by structure? What is a structure? So that is the main root word, okay, text structure. So what do you understand by structure? Now, if you look at that slide, you will see one construction of a building, okay, yes. In order to build one house, there are different types of buildings, there are different types of houses. Now, for that, we need proper structure, okay. So structure is how you organize all these things. We have got, which is the bungalow, we have got 1-story building, we have got 2-story building, and we also have the skyscrapers. You got it? Now, these are different structures the builders, especially the architects, they use. You got it? Now, let us talk about the writers. Okay, yes. Now, the writers and the authors, they use different text structures for their own piece of writing. There are different types of text structure, and the writing, in order to explain, in order to inform, in order to share, in order to tell their idea, they use different kind of text structures, just like the buildings. Okay, according to the owner, you make different kind of houses, big house, small house, you organize the house, so many things. So likewise, the writers who writes, okay, they also follow some structures. Okay, so it's important for us to know about the text structure. Whenever you come across a small piece of text, okay, you have to identify, you have to know what type of text structure did the author, did the writer use here. You got it? Okay, yes. Now I want you to look at the slides. Okay. Yes. So the writers, authors, they use different text structures for their writing. It refers, now text structure, it refers to the internal organization of the text. Okay, how the text is organized with the purpose by the writer or the author. They use the structure that suits their idea. They have got different idea. Now we have learned all these things about, okay, whenever a writer, whenever an author writes, it's important for the author, it's important for the writer to keep in mind two important things. The first one is who your audience is. According to the audience, okay, you plan your own writing. And the second one is you, what is your idea? What kind of idea? Okay, yes. So depending upon the idea, okay, these the texts are divided into different structures. You got it? Okay, yes. Now, why do we learn about text structure? Why is it important for us to know about the text structure? Okay, yes. And some of you may be knowing, some of you might have done this in your own reading, the different type of text structure, but some of you may not be knowing. Okay, yes. Now we are going to learn this in this session. Okay, yes. So you see, why are we learning about the text structure? Okay, yes. Now as long as you are a student, as long as you are a learner, there are different sources from where you learn, from where you get some information. Now what are these information? We have got the textbooks. Okay, we have got the books. And some of you may appear for the different international based tests such as TOEFL. Okay, yes, like this. Now in these books, if you look at this, there are different types of books, and each and every book has their own author and the writer. And these books are written in a different text structure. Okay, now let me give you an example which is very much related to you. Okay, you all have your English paper. Okay, now in the English paper, yes, the paper is divided into reading part, writing part, grammar and literature. So in the reading part, generally it is almost same for all the standard. It may be, there may be some difference of the difficulty level. Otherwise, you will come across literary piece, you may come across discursive, and you may come across some factual based passage, isn't it? So if you look at this, so you are given some exercises in the examination. Now, how are you going to do the exercises comfortably? You will do all these things easily because if you know the different types of text structure. Whenever you are given a small piece of paper, okay, small piece of passage to read and then answer, it's important for you to identify the different text structure. Now, if you know the different text structure, if you are familiar with the different text structure, for example, oh, this small passage, the first one is about this, and the second one is this. Now, once you have that text structure, once you have the idea of text structure, then it will be very easy, it will be very, convenient for you to do all the exercises that follows. You got it? So, understanding the text structure, it's very important. Okay, yes. So that is the thing. Now, okay, what is a text structure? We have learned, okay, yes, how the things are organized by the writer according to their own idea. And the second one, why is it important for us to learn about the text structure? Because if you know the different text structure, it will help you comprehend. Okay, yes. In life, as a student, even if you go to colleges, you will come across different kind of texts. Okay, you will come across different types of reading materials. So, and you have to solve all these things, and understanding the text structure will help you comprehend all these things. You got it? Okay, yes. Now, what are the different types of text structures we have? So that's the question. Okay, yes. Now, these are the different types of text structures I told you. Okay. Now, in our writing section, we have also learned how to write these types of paragraphs. Okay, these types of essay, chronological, compare contrast, cause and effect, and problem solution. Now, when it comes to reading, okay, yes, now we have to be in a position to understand the different types of text structure. So you see, the text structure normally, okay, it comprises of 4 types. The first one, okay, what is the first one? Yes, the first one is chronological, or you can say sequencing, or we use the other term time order. Okay, yes, everything is put in order. So that is one type of text structure. And the second one is compare and contrast. We have already done this, how to write a compare and contrast paragraph or essay. Now we are reading. Okay, so whenever we have got some piece of paper, we should know whether it is a compare and contrast or not. Okay, so that is the second type of text structure. And the third one is cause and effect. Some of the texts, okay, according to the idea, the writers write their passage by using this particular structure, which is called cause and effect. What is a cause? What is an effect? We have already learned this. Okay, yes. Last but not the least, we have the problem solution. Now, this is another type of text structure. So, if you look at all these four, these all structures, they are totally different. Okay, yes. So, now it's important for us to know about all this text structure. Did you understand what are the four different types of text structure? We have the sequencing, or we can also say chronological. The second one is compare and contrast, and the third one is cause and effect, and the last one is problem and solution. You have to keep this in mind. Okay, yes. Now let us try to get some samples. Okay, yes, sample of these text structure, so that you will be in a position to identify. Okay, yes. Now, okay, yes, the first one is chronological. What is the other name of this? Yes, yes. Okay, the other name of this chronological order is sequencing. Any other name? Yes, time order. Now these are basically same. Okay, whether you say chronological, whether you say sequencing, whether you say time order, they all are same. Okay, yes. Now, the authors use this chronological order to explain how things happen in order. This is called time order or sequencing. So, did you understand this? When do the authors use this particular structure? Okay, yes. The authors, suppose if the author wants to explain, inform the readers about some important historical facts, you can say different kind of war. You can also talk about how to prepare one of your favorite dish, for example, pancake. Okay, now if you come across some new gadgets, how to use that, how to start, how to reset all these things. Now, if the writer wants to, inform the reader about all the things in proper order, now the writer used this particular text structure. Did you understand? What is the text structure? Chronological order, where everything is to be followed in proper order. If there is something wrong in in the order, then something different may come up. Okay, yes. So this is the chronological order. Let us look at some of the examples. What type of writing will come in this chronological order? The first one is historical events. If you are talking about, if you want to explain the reader about the different historical event, we also use this. And the second one, in the different stages, okay, in a life of a person or animal. Okay, yes, I have already told you about the life cycle of butterfly. Okay, how does the butterfly become? Okay, yes. Now you have to, if you are a writer, if you are explaining all these things, you should be very particular about the different orders. Okay, and then as I have already told you, if your writing is about a process, okay, yes, you are explaining some process. Okay, now it's important for you to follow the order, and you are going to use the chronological order. Did you understand? Okay, to make it clearer, let us try to go through this. The signal words and clue words. I'm sure you all are familiar with this word, because these are the words that we have been using throughout this session. Okay, signal words or clue words, or we also say transition. Okay, yes. Now these are signal words and clue words, because they work as a signpost. It will show you, it will guide you. You got it? This will always be very handy for you whenever you write or whenever you read a piece of passage. You will know that the passage you are reading is written in chronological order, because you will see the signal words. There are some signal words. Okay. Now, what are these signal words as far as this chronological text structure is concerned? Now, these are the words. Okay. First, next, later, then finally, it doesn't mean that these are the only words. There are so many other words. Now, just an example, okay. Now, these are the words. Now, whenever you come across this, these words will just give you a signal. These will be just give you some which will clue that this particular passage is written in chronological order. You got it? Okay, so these are the things. Okay, next time when you come across some piece of writing, you just look for these signal words. Okay, see whether these words really work as a signal for you or not. Okay, yes. Now let us look at some examples. Okay, yes. I want you to go through this and try to see whether this particular passage suits, this come under this chronological order or not. Okay, I'm going to give it a quick reading. Making Tibetan butter tea, it's very easy. First, you put tea leaves and water in a utensil and let it boil for a few minutes. Next, use a sieve and pour it in a mixer. Then put some butter and a pinch of salt. Finally, blend the contents for a few minutes until a foamy tea is formed. Your Tibetan tea is ready to serve. Now, if you look at that, that is just a simple one. Okay, yes. So you can make it, what should you say, longer. Okay, yes. So that is just to give you an idea. And you look at all these things, whether these come under chronological order or not. Now, on the other side, let us look at this one, the life cycle of a butterfly. The life cycle of a butterfly starts with the female butterfly laying eggs. Then these eggs hatch within few weeks and they become caterpillars. Later, these caterpillars form itself into pupa and changes gradually. Finally, this pupa turns into a beautiful butterfly. Now, if you look at this, the writer is explaining something by using this chronological order. Everything is in proper order. You got it? You should not mix up all these things. Now, I want you to try, as I've already told you, there are some signal words, there are some clue words, which will give you some clue. Okay, oh, that this particular writing is set in a chronological order. There are some words. Can you identify these things? These clue words? Okay, yes. So you have got some idea. You have your own answers. Okay, now let us together see how many of you got it right. Okay, yes. Now these are the clue words. For example, first, next, finally. Do you see some order? Okay, yes. And on the other side, we have got the start, then, next, finally. Now, these highlighted words are called clue words, or what is the other word? Yes, the signal words. You got it? So, this will help you. Okay, yes. So, this is the first example. Now, let us talk about the second text structure. What is the second text structure? Yes, compare and contrast. Okay, yes. Now, sometimes the author wants to explain the similarity and differences between two persons or a thing or animal or even so many things. Okay, so suppose if the author wants to explain, okay, instead of explaining things in order, suppose if the author wants to explain the similarity and differences. I told you, compare and contrast has become a part and parcel of our life. There isn't any moment where we don't compare and contrast. Okay, so chronological order will not work here, obviously. Okay, yes, because you are talking about similarity and differences. So for that, the writer chooses a different text structure to suit his own idea. So for that, what will the writer choose? The writer will choose the second type of text structure, that is compare and contrast, to show the similarity as well as the differences. You got it? So there's the second text structure, which is totally different from the first we talked about, chronological. Okay, yes. Now let us look at the signal words. I told you each and every text structure has got some words which will give you some kind of hint signal. Okay. Now what are some of the signal words we use in the compare and contrast? You will know that the passage that you are reading is compare and contrast by looking at these signal words, or you can say clue words. Now what are these words? Both, similarly, but, while. Now these are some of the clue words. This is not the final one. There are so many other. Now this is just a few. Okay, both, similarity, similarly, but, while. Now these are the words that we use in compare and contrast, which is a text structure. And we have also talked about the graphic organizer. Okay, you should be very familiar by now this particular technical word, okay, when it comes to any piece of writing, graphic organizer. So what is a graphic organizer? Graphic organizer is the tool. It's just a tool which we used in the which is a pre-writing stage. You remember the writing, okay, the writing process. The most important thing is the pre-writing. So in that pre-writing, we use different strategies. Okay, yes, and this particular strategy, okay, yes, graphic organizer, there are different types of graphic organizer. So when it comes to compare and contrast, do you remember during my writing session, I talked about the particular graphic organizer we use in compare and contrast. Do you remember? What was that? What was the name of that graphic organizer we used? Remember? Okay, yes, we talked about the Venn diagram. To remember the two circles, okay, yes, two circles. So in the circle, in the part where it lies on both the left and right, you talk about all the similarity, and then the other two parts, hemisphere, you can write about the differences. Okay, yes. Now let us go through one example of that compare and contrast. Okay, yes. Okay, so Tingmo, so right from the morning, I'm just talking about the momo and pancake and so many things. I'm sorry. Okay, yes. So let us look at this. Tingmo and momo are two special dishes of Tibetans. Both look white, soft and fluffy. Both tingmo and momo are cooked in a steamer with same cooking time, but they are different. Unlike tingmo, momo is stuffed in different ingredients according to one's own taste. While the former takes less time, the later takes more preparation time. They both are same, but they are unique in their own way. Okay, yes. So here I'm sorry to tell you that this is a paragraph and I forgot to put the indent. So you see, we have got different types of writing processes. Okay, the writing process is not properly done here. Okay, so that is what I want you to keep in mind. And now if this is a small piece of passage. Okay, now in the passage I told you whether you write long one or whether you write short one, what you have to keep in mind, you have to keep in mind the structure, okay, of a paragraph. We have got the introduction, we have got the body, we have got the conclusion. So no matter how small the passage is, make sure that you have all these things. So in this piece of writing, you see the introduction is there. Tingmo, momo are two special dishes. Okay, I'm talking about all these things. Both these are the body, and what is the conclusion one? They both are similar, but they are unique in their own way. Okay, so I just kept the same structure, even if it is a very short one. Okay, yes. Now, just like the previous example, I want you to identify some of the signal words, some of the clue words, which will just give us hint that this particular writing is come under compare and contrast. Yes. Quickly go through these, try to identify the words. By now you are familiar, your eyes are used to these words. Yes, I'm sure you all have that. Now let us try to see how far you got it right. Okay, yes. Okay, now both, unlike, while, now these are the signal words. Now whenever you come across these words, I'm not saying that this is 100% compare and contrast, but these will just give you some idea. Okay, now these words are called, that's why they are called signal words or clue words. This give you some idea. Did you understand? Okay, so with this we have finished with the second type of text structure. Let us move on to the third. What is the third? Remember, what is the third type of text structure? Yes, okay, it's cause and effect, now which is totally different from the previous two. Okay, so cause and effect. Now sometimes the author wants to explain how one event leads to another, talks about different types of causes and effects. So this is called cause and effect. Now this structure is totally different from the previous two. So each and every structure is unique in their own way. Okay, now let us see how this cause and effect text structure look like. And let us also talk about the clue words or the signal words. What are the clue words? Yes, these are the words, cause. By looking at these words, you will just get some idea that this is about cause and effect. Cause, effect, as a result, consequently, so. Now these are some of the signal words. The author uses these words which makes the readers identify the text structure. So I told you a good writer is also a good reader. So if you're a good reader, when you write something, what are the things that you have to keep in mind? You will keep in mind that I'm not going to confuse my reader, okay, by talking about all this. I'm going to make my best. I'm going to do my best to make sure my readers can easily comprehend what I'm supposed to be telling. You got it? Okay, so let us look at one example, cause and effect. Yes. So in this whole session, Gethenchula and I have been talking about the PUBG, okay, because PUBG is a great, talk of the town, especially during this pandemic. Okay, yes. So I'm sure by now some of you have already given up this PUBG. Okay, yes. So, okay, let us go through this. PUBG game has so many negative effects. Playing PUBG, which is a violent game, results in developing aggressive behavior among children. Another effect of PUBG is the loss of interest in more important things like studies and social activities. Last but not the least, the game results in the loss of eyesight in some extreme cases. No matter how interesting this game is, these are some of the negative effects children have to bear. You got it? So this is a small passage. Again, I'm sorry to tell you that I forgot to put the indent, okay, which you must do. Here I've made the mistake. Now, after doing the during the writing process, there are some stages where I have to, edit all these things. Okay, yes. Now this is a small piece of paper passage, and if you look at this, I also kept all the structure. For example, the introduction, the body and the conclusion, you can easily see. Okay. Now this is a cause and effect. Just like the previous exercise, I want you to look for some of the clue words, some of the signal words, which will give you some idea that this is a cause and effect text structure. Okay. Yes. Can you go through this and try to identify some of the words? Are you done? Good. Okay. So let us see. Yes. First one, we have got the effect. The word effect, okay, so effect, I've already told you cause and effect. Cause is the reason, okay, effect is the result, okay, yes. So this is already, we all are familiar with this cause and effect, okay, yes. It's important skill that we also have to keep in mind. Effect, result, cause, effect. Now these are some of the signal words which we use in the cause and effect. Now, if you paid attention to all these signal words or clue words, you somehow will know that, okay, these signal words are different from different text structure. Okay, although there are some similarities, but basically different text structures have their own signal words. Okay, yes. So with this, we have finished with the chronological, we have finished with the compare contrast, we have finished with the cause and effect. Now, what is left? Okay, yes, we are left with the last one, problem and solution. Okay, yes. So sometimes the author wants to explain one problem and then he puts up different or show one or more solution. Okay, so for that, the author uses the text structure called problem and solution. Again, you see, so this is totally different from the above three. Okay, so each text structure is unique in their own way. Now, some of the signal words, okay, it's very simple, problem and solution. Whenever you come across these words in a small passage, you will know that you will get some idea that this is a problem and solution text structure. You got it? Okay, yes. Now, let us take one example. Okay, yes, we talk about the COVID-19. Okay, yes. So, this word is on the tip of each and everybody. Okay, yes. There are so many problems caused by this COVID-19. The educational institutions are closed and children miss their school. Not even the children, the teachers also. Okay, yes. People whose income depends on a daily wages lost their source because they cannot go to work. Country's economy has been affected a lot. Fortunately, most of the educational institutions have gone online teaching like us. Okay, yes. And the government has come up with various relief schemes and packages for the daily wages. The project on the vaccine has already been started. These solutions will reduce the problem for some extent. Now, if you look at this small passage, okay, now here I have used the indentation. You got it? There is some space which on the very first sentence. Okay, yes. So that you have to keep in mind. If you look at this, you will know that there is a proper introduction, there is a proper body, and there is a proper conclusion. Okay, yes. What is the conclusion here? This solution will reduce the problem for some extent. We don't have a very concise and 100% solution. Okay, we need so many solutions, and this solution will reduce our problem for some extent, not 100%. You got it? So this type of writing is called problem solution. Now here the writer comes up with one problem. Okay, yes, COVID-19 is a problem. Why this is a problem? Why is it a matter of concern for the writer? Because of this COVID-19, there are so many effects. There are so many problem caused. For example, the institution, educational institution, which is open, it's closed. Okay, yes, and the people who depend on their daily wages, they are not getting the income. They are not getting the daily wages because they are not allowed to go for work. Okay, yes. Now these are some of the, that's why that problem is a major. So that's why the writer is trying to put up some solution. Okay, each and every problem has a solution. Now these are the solution. You got it? Okay, yes. Now just like the previous exercise, I want you to identify some of the, that clue words or signal word. Yes? Did you get some idea what are the signal words related to this problem solution? Okay, yes. Now let us check. Okay, yes. Problems. You have got the solution. Okay, yes. Now all the sentences which are highlighted, okay, the red one, they are supposed to be the solution. What is the problem? The problem is COVID-19. Okay, so you have to find some solution. What are some of the solution? Okay, yes. Now those parts which are highlighted, these are solution. Did you get? Okay, yes. Now we have already covered all the four text structure: chronological, compare contrast, cause and effect, problem solution. You should also try to identify. Now as an exercise, as an homework, what you do, you just try to go through a small piece of writing. Now by now you have come across so many English papers when you were in class 4, class 5, class 6, class 7. There are so many English questions. Okay, now each and every English question has obviously the reading part which has got marks of 20 or 25 or sometimes 30. Now for that you will be given 3 reading passages. Okay, now after knowing about the text structure, you just try to go through once more. Okay, when you were in class 5, you just try to look for the question paper and try to see the reading part. Okay, yes, and try to see what type of passage is this. What is that reading text structure used by the author? Is it a compare contrast? Is it chronological? Is it? Now I'm sure it will just help you. Okay, yes, by understanding this text structure, then you will be able to identify the different text structure. And what will happen if you are able to identify the different types of text structure? Then your comprehension level will increase. Okay, yes. Now, when it comes to this text structure, it all comes under that expository writing. Do you remember when we were talking about the writing types, we talk about the 4 types of writing. First one is descriptive writing, second one is narrative writing, third one is expository writing, and the last one is persuasive writing. So all these 4 types of text structure normally comes under the expository. And what type of expository writing? What is expository writing? Expository writing is a writing where the author tries to explain, the author tries to inform, the author tries to describe, all these things. So when the author tries to explain and inform and describe all these things, now these are the different text structure the author use, okay, in the expository. So when we were doing the expository writing, we have already discussed about these 4 types. Okay, so when it comes to reading, we also talk about the different text structures. Did you understand? Okay, yes. So I'm going to stop in this session. Okay, so in this session we talk about the different text structure, Okay, what are the different text structure? I've also given you an example. There are more examples. Okay, I want you to, this is not the end. Okay, this is just the beginning. As I've already told you, it's just like a spark. Okay, there must be some spark. Now you have to kindle it and try to grow. Okay, set the fire by Googling or by just revisiting all the reading materials that you have come across till now. Okay, yes. So thank you, and I see you in the next session. Thank you.